You look like 10 years younger, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I stopped blasting fucking gear all the time.
You know,
Just need a little break.
whenever you're on gear, right? I think sometimes we get offended when people say like we look older, but the truth is that it's like you got to think like the average person usually, let's say if you're 25 years old, the average 25-year-old to us looks like they're like 16, right?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like our perspective is kind of skewed because we're used to being around other bodybuilders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 25-year-olds aren't walking around like that big with like neck wrinkles and shit, right? So anytime so anytime I see somebody like, in their mid 20s, I'm like, really? This guy looks like a teenager, but it's just that we're so skewed. So it shouldn't be taken as offense because people don't walk around looking like that, right? So it's different,
I do feel like though, like whenever you're blasting it, it kind of like at least for me, it makes my face look like weathered.
It does, yeah, no, for
Like
sure.
it makes it makes me look like old, like I've been like outside working for years.
Yeah, no, you definitely feel it. I feel like peak off season you get that, but then when you start prep, sometimes you start to look a little younger until the end, until you're like drawn out. Then you go back to looking old.
My eyes always swell up. Like my eyes will get like almost like
Yeah.
closed.
Oh
I
yeah.
have like a reaction to something. It has happened every single time I've prepped. Every single time.
Really?
It's kind of scary.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's also, but I feel like I kind of thought it was cool earlier. Like, right? I don't know what age did you start? Did you start bodybuilding?
I did my first show for like I don't know if where you went to high school did this, but we had to do like a senior project. And it was like pick a skill you don't really know anything about. So I competed in a bodybuilding show for my first one when I was 18. I did a natural bodybuilding show.
Yo, you started super young.
Mm-hmm.
You started super young. But like that early on, I kind of wanted to look to, when you're young, you want to get older faster, right? So it's like, I used to want those changes. I used to want to look a little older. So yeah, because I like older girls and shit. So I'm like, yeah, I don't mind this. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's going a little fast. It's going a little fast.
I'm not 45. I'm not 50.
Yeah, exactly. I think like before I started losing hair, I was like, I don't care about hair, But then you start losing, you kind of like, I think I care a little bit. Shit, I'm like, I think I care a little bit, yeah. But I mean, and nowadays it's not that expensive to get like a transplant these days.
Bro, I got SEC, I got SM, like a SM, I can't remember what it's called, like scalp pigmentation or whatever, where they like,
oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Boston Scalp MD. When I went last time to see my girl, I got it done, but it makes it to where it just looks like you got like stubble on your head the whole time.
Yeah.
And put your hair back there.
That's like the best bet if you don't have enough like donor hair. Do you have enough donor hair to get a transplant?
Man, I'm really not that worried about it. I was just that sounds cool. He gave me a good deal on it, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll try this. I'll try it out, and it ended up being real good. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as hell the night before. I was like, this better look nice.
Yeah.
This is my scalp.
I mean, the truth is nobody cares besides yourself. Like, it's not really a thing. Like, girls don't care about that shit, especially if you have a girlfriend. They don't give a fuck about your hair. Like they're not tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things that I think we don't. The first time you see signs of age, you get a little nervous because nobody thinks they're gonna get older. You kind of just think, this is it. I'm just gonna be strong as shit forever. I'm gonna be swole. I'm gonna just, So when you first start seeing it, I mean, you're dealing with injuries right now. When you first start seeing it, you're like, damn.
Over them. But yeah. Dude, that was like that really fucked me up for a little bit because I trained like an animal for as long as I can remember, and I never once like I'd have aches and pains, but never once was like, oh shit, I hurt myself. And then I haven't been able to like straighten this. It's getting a little better, but I haven't been able to like straighten this elbow fully for like almost 2 years, and then I tore. It's so weird. I really don't know what I did. There's a cosmetic difference between my two quads, and I felt something pop, but there was no blood, like no bleeding under the skin ever.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you get injured and you don't even know when, right?
Well,
And it sounds. Oh yeah.
It
Oh
hurt. Yeah,
yeah.
it hurt really bad. Yeah.
You remember when Nick tore his hamstring, right? And it was like, when did it happen? He was like, well, I went to stand up and I heard like a little something, but honestly, like I didn't even think much about it. Like sometimes you don't even, it doesn't even register, right? Um, I kind of hurt, not kind of, I hurt my back maybe a couple weeks ago. I'm still kind of limping around. I'm still training, but you know how we are. We don't do it. I'm still training, but I got to be honest. I don't know when I heard it. I know it had to do with leg day because I started feeling it the day after that leg day. But there was no moment where I was like, "Oh shit, something went." I didn't even notice it, And then the next day, I could barely stand up. I'm like, "Oh fuck, nah, not that," But yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's an adrenaline thing or sometimes I think we have so much muscle that our body kind of could compensate for certain things, and we don't even notice it. You know what I'm saying?
So you
So
sleep on it for a little bit, then you're like, oh, I can't like when my back locks up, I get stuck like bent over.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, at one point, you think you're invincible, even if you don't say it out loud. You don't think you're that guy. When the older guys are like, "Hey, but you really don't need to squat that much weight," and you're like, I guess I don't need to, but I want to, and I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm good. And then eventually you're like, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe he was right.
Maybe I shouldn't.
My
Yeah.
body doesn't love me anymore.
But you do something that I've been doing for a while as well. I don't use any equipment when I train. Like belt, knee wraps, and stuff like that.
After I got done with powerlifting, I stopped doing all that. Like once I can't remember what the best one. It was like 800 or 785, something like that. And then that was the last time I really put on reps. I tried to I'd play with them occasionally if me and Javion were like trying to see how many reps we could do, like 405 or something. But
Yeah.
it's just like working sets, no belt, no reps.
Yeah, that guy might be the strongest men's physique guy in the entire fucking league.
I mean, he trained with me for like 5 years, and I torture him.
Yeah. Well. People sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times people say, "Oh, men's physique guys." Some people even say classic. They're like, "Oh, those guys, they don't really train." Let's be real, they don't really train as hard as bodybuilders. And with all due respect, I'm like, boys, a lot of the men's physique guys I know train harder than y'all. Like, with all due respect, because every open guy doesn't train that hard as they think. You know what I'm saying?
It's super. A lot of time, not a lot of the times, but there's people out there that are just, if they eat their food, they're super responsive to gear.
They're gonna grow, yeah. So it's one of those things that I think genetic elite don't understand their genetics, right? A lot of open guys, they just grow like crazy, and they don't think that some people can't do that. Some people's bodies just don't do that, bro. Like I have men's physique clients that eat way more food than me, bro. That train just as hard. That take the gear. They just don't grow like that. They're not gonna be 300 pounds. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't matter.
Don't respond to it the same.
Yeah, man. So Wyatt,
what's up, man?
Chilling. Yeah.
So yeah, Josh, I don't think we've ever met. Like, I guess you can kind of call this in person now.
As close as it's probably gonna get for a while.
Yeah. Where you live at again?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia.
It's not too far. I'm in Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that bad. Good drive.
Yeah. Shit. Some of my closest friends, we like when the first time I met Ken, I'm like, bro, we never met in person. He's like, nah. I'm like, damn, we like
that was in Texas, right? Wasn't it Nationals?
Yeah. So sometimes I don't even catch it. I'm like, damn, some of my closest friends, we don't even meet. We haven't met in person, just because
Yeah.
social media, you could build communities this way.
Yeah.
Age of the internet.
Yeah. We were talking about genetics because Josh's training partner or former training partner, a men's physique guy, man. This guy is insanely strong, bro. His name, what's his Instagram again?
J.S. Aesthetics.
Oh, Jay.
Javion. Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think some people, some bodybuilders don't realize that everybody can't be 300 pounds, right? No matter what you do, we take it for granted because if we eat the food, we become 300 pounds. And honestly, I don't feel like it's that hard to be 300 pounds, but I understand that that's just my body, right? Some people's bodies just don't work that way.
I put on weight really quick. When I'm eating all my meals and the gears where it's supposed to be, I put on weight very, very fast.
Sometimes too fast, you want it to be more quality, but
yeah, I know. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. And I mean, crazy physique. You don't expect somebody with small joints like that to actually be strong.
He's strong as fuck. Yeah. We used to push each other all the time. Like,
oh damn!
He sent me some videos the other day of him benching 405 for, I think it was like sets of 8. Yeah. He's like 230 or something like that.
He's not trying to keep his weight low, right?
I think he just is. I mean, I haven't really talked to him in a minute, but if things are still the same, he's probably just a little worried about not being able to make that weight cap.
Hey, scroll back up real quick. The arm shot. Keep going up.
Oh yeah, the very first one.
Yeah, the very first one.
Oh, holy shit!
See, like the first thing I think when I see some of these men's physique guys is that I want to see them in open. Just forget classic. I just want to see them jump straight to open, right?
I've been trying to push him to do classic for a long time, and it's not happening. At least anytime soon.
Like does his weight not go up?
Dude, I personally think he's on top of it, but he doesn't like push the food crazy high in the off season because he doesn't want to put on the weight. But he could put the weight on like that if he wanted to.
Oh, this guy got to move up. Like you take a guy like Gregor, right? Who was kind of like a I don't want to say run in the mill, but he wasn't like a top physique guy. He was like just another guy.
He wasn't even placing, was he?
No.
He's been killing it this year, though.
Yeah, he wasn't even placing
classic. Yeah, or even what's his name? I'm sorry, the one that got second. Logan. Logan was doing well in men's physique, but that was when the standards was a little smaller, right? So my point is, the guys who aren't even the top guys in physique, when they move up a class, right? Look how crazy they look, right? So in my head, when I see like the insane genetics in men's physique, I'm like, yo, I want to see this dude put on another 20 pounds of muscle because the same rules apply. Genetics are genetics. Like that crazy V taper and small waist, it's not like just suited for men's physique. That goes for any division, right? That's gonna help you in any division as long as you can put on the muscle, right?
I feel like you can see it in their physiques when they're like in men's physique. You can see like you can just imagine when you put on pounds of muscle where it's going to go. Like whether they're kind of thick already, like shoulders, like Jay, like arms, and his legs are good too. If he were to just go up, those thicker things are going to get thicker. Where those like their midsection are always tiny. That's going to stay as tiny, or it's going to grow proportionally with what's already the thickest. So you can see all those insertions, but I mean, you're talking about genetics. That is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes like I have men's physique clients, right? And when I speak to them, I think sometimes they're under the impression that that open doesn't reward aesthetics, right? When the truth is that it always will, but it's just that a lot of times the aesthetic guys aren't muscular enough or conditioned enough. That's it, right?
Or you lose the aesthetics trying to get the size.
Yeah, but let's say even if you lose some aesthetics, shit, you're still gonna be better off than if you didn't have it, right? So sometimes I look at pictures of myself when I was a heavyweight. I'm like, oh my god, I was so much more aesthetic. I wish I still looked like that. But then it's like the trade off is like, well, like in the supers, I'm still like the most aesthetic one, right? Even if for my standards, I'm like, oh, I don't even look aesthetic anymore, right? So it's like even if you lose it, you have something to spare, you know. But I guess I could understand that because when I look at that, sometimes I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I stayed like that, but no, I don't. I did want to get bigger, you know. So yeah, my point is that they think that aesthetics won't be rewarded as much in the open when the truth is that as long as you're big enough and you're conditioned, you'll always win. We just, you know, it's like the guys like Andrew and Samson, they're winning, they're winning anyways, and then they're not even peeled, right?
Yeah.
So imagine those guys peeled, then you're good to go, you know. So I think anytime people complain about that, how come Regan doesn't place higher? This, I'm like, well, it's just a matter of if he had the same amount of muscle as the guys who are less aesthetic, and he was peeled, he would beat them actually. You know, it's just you still have to fill in all the blanks.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't believe like the judges. You know how they say, well, judges are going more for this or going more for that. I just believe it's who's there. We just didn't have a Samson and Andrew 5 years ago, right? So you had Nick and Hadi and those guys in those positions. And now we have guys, now Samson done gained 30, 40 pounds of muscle. Now he's in the conversation. And Andrew, same with Andrew, you know, and once they're peeled, oh, then it won't be much of a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I feel like all those things are part of genetics as well. So genetics is not only aesthetics. The amount of muscle mass you can add on and the condition you can get on, there are genetic factors. You have more control of that than your structure, obviously, which you have no control of. But there's still a genetic part in that, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'll say like Dorian, right? Dorian had great genetics. If you have bad genetics, you don't even turn pro. You're definitely not going to be a top Olympian with bad genetics. So just because Dorian didn't have the same genetics as far as shape and muscle bellies as Sean Ray doesn't mean he didn't have great genetics as far as being super dry, thin skin, and having that density and having the size. There is a genetic part to that, even though the work plays part of that more than anything else. Right? Would that make sense?
Yep. Well, I feel like there's tons of people with good genetics that didn't work their ass off and they got looked over. Or not looked over, but never got to reach their true potential.
Bro, there's guys on the local level that have better genetics, shape-wise, structure-wise, than Olympians. Like, literally. I've seen guys on the local level, I'm like, well, if this guy was in shape, it wouldn't even be a competition. Forget the size for now. It wouldn't even be. I saw a guy like that at the USA's last year. I saw a guy like that at the one of the shows out here. It was just a local show, and I personally like to tell them, I'm like, bro, you know, if you were peeled, nobody else we wouldn't even be looking at anybody else, right? But it is what it is. Some of them don't even understand what peeled even means. Some of them don't have a really good coach and they're new in the sport. And some of them just don't have with all due respect, just don't have the work ethic. They just don't work hard enough. You know. What's up, Stu? What's up, Alyssa?
What up, boys?
Hey, oh.
How are y'all?
Pretty good. No
complaints. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. Stu thought that the podcast was canceled.
I was like, shit, man. I guess that's it. Doesn't die with a bang, just a whimper.
Great run. No.
Finally feeling all right, Stu?
What's that?
You finally feeling all right?
Yeah. Well, when I saw you, I was still pneumonia still. The pneumonia's gone, but I think I went and caught another bug a couple of days ago. But it's like I don't feel like physically sick. It's just like sinuses and kind of coughing a little bit. It's not bad. I think it'll be gone in a couple of days. But
allergies.
I was wondering that, man. I've never taken allergy meds before. I took like my girlfriend Megan. She takes allergy meds. I tried taking them a couple of days and it didn't really help. I thought that's what it was, but I don't think that's it. I'm just a fucking plague child, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just get sick all the time. So
wait, but was this happening before you moved? Because it seemed like when you moved.
No, it was happening last year as well. But I think last year a lot of it was from traveling because I would get back from a trip and I would get sick usually. You know, I mean, like it was a 50-50 shot if I would catch something on the trip, and it happened in prep a couple of times. It kind of messed me up last year. Hopefully it doesn't turn into the same shit this year, but so far it's looking like it will be. I've got a whole bunch of immune supplements I'm taking like regularly now. So yeah.
What's your vitamin C intake?
I was about to say I'm taking shit ton of vitamin C.
I'm taking like 4 grams a day now. Yeah. I wasn't taking any consistently before, and I don't think that was good. I also, this is really weird. So I got my a whole bunch of panels done with Merrick last September, and my vitamin D was low, and I'm taking 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. I have been for ages. And I don't know if the quality of the supplement that I was taking wasn't good or something like that, but I've bumped it up to 20, because I think I was talking to the guys on Professional Muscle, the forum. I know you're on there, Justin. And they thought, one of the guys suggested that with everything that we're doing as bodybuilders, you might need more vitamin D than you might expect because it kind of consume more of it with all the processes that we're forcing by bodybuilding. So I bumped that up to 20,000 IUs a day, a couple other things in there that I'm taking every day. So
yeah, I'm sure you're taking it with K2, aren't you?
Yeah, D3K2,
Yeah. Don't you need to get some sun for it to work properly? Is that true?
You unmute it when they talk to you.
No, so if you don't get enough sun, you need to supplement. It's not like D3 is inactive.
Come over here. I'm introducing.
Mm-hmm. So it's still going to work, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you were out in the sun all day, you wouldn't need to supplement it at all, probably.
Okay, yeah. I've noticed that bodybuilders need a lot more of everything, basically. The whole, for the, when I get multi, even if it's from a bodybuilding brand and it's dosed properly for us, I'll still take 4 times the dose. And vitamin C, I used to get sick all the time, weekly. Granted, I lived in New York, so it's pretty dirty. So you'll get sick in New York. But even then, back then I was taking maybe 2 grams of vitamin C. I've never in my life been sick when I bumped it up to 5-6 grams. So it's 1,000 gram, right? 1,000 gram per pill, and I'll take 3 twice a day. Mm-hmm. I've never actually been sick. If I'm consistently doing that, I never got sick before. Anytime I miss doses or skimp on it, then I do get sick. But as long as I'm doing it, I haven't been sick. So, that might work.
Hey, I want to introduce y'all. This is Chris Darby.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hi, Chris.
How you feeling, champ?
What's going on, guys?
Chilling.
212 Pro.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. You moved to Houston, right? Recently?
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
yep.
Welcome to Houston. Welcome to Houston.
It's lit.
What's like the main gym out there? The bodybuilding hub kind of thing.
Oh man, there's quite a few.
Where I'm at,
There's two. There's the one that she's at is Iron City. Okay, that's
been
where I
there.
am mainly. It's actually really good. It's a hardcore gym in Cypress area.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've been there. I went there in 2022, I think.
Oh, it's
And
way different.
They've changed it a ton since then, right?
Big
it-
time. Way bigger. Way bigger. A lot of panada. Some way bigger now.
I think I'd probably miss the old one because it was like dirty as fuck, like super grungy. Like everything was rusty in there because of the humidity in Houston.
Oh, it
Like,
still is.
It still is? Okay,
badass
good.
now.
Good.
I've never been to a better gym.
Yeah.
I liked it when I went a couple years ago. It was cool.
But there's that one, Species, and then Roman Iron. But they're kind of all scattered out.
Species is great too. I went there last year with the gas team.
Oh, the Katie one? Yeah.
Yeah, up in Katy. Because there's two, right?
There's two now. There was three: Spring, Baytown, and Katy. They actually just moved the Katy one to a new location now, and it's actually a lot better. You probably would like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they don't have air conditioning because it's kind of like part of it. No air
they've
conditioning.
changed
That's how
it
all
to
Texas
AC.
gyms are. No AC.
Yeah.
So the gym I work out at is
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Iron City, it's like the bay doors are open, but they have fans running, so it doesn't feel like you're outside, but you're still like warm and you're sweating. It's like perfect. It couldn't be better.
Except when they turn the fans off. Oh Lord.
I'm okay with that.
I like it. The outside gyms when the fans are off. Just sweat your ass off.
Yep.
Yeah, it don't bother me, man. I don't like if a gym is too well air conditioned. I don't like it. I like it kind of. I want to work up a sweat to the point that I don't
You
even
keep it
notice the heat.
pumped. Like,
Yeah,
the cold just fucking vamps your pump. Like,
100%.
But the problem is a lot of people don't keep up their electrolytes. And that's what they got to do. Because when you're sweating, you're just flushing it all out. And they just drink water, and they're not putting salt or extra electrolytes in their water, so they're getting drained too fast.
Shit, my body holds so much water that I fucking loved it. Well, you gotta think about it, like genetically, right? I'm like 99.99 West African, right? So, like,
Not a problem.
like our bodies were made to be in very hot environments and be super productive on really low calories. So to be able to walk, these guys used to walk miles. They used to walk all over the fucking continent, right? You know what I'm saying? And still keep their muscle mass, right? So it's one of those things that I almost need that. I'll sit in the car sweating in a hoodie with no AC in the summer. Just my body wants the heat. I'm not really supposed to be in a cold environment.
You remind yourself of the old country. It's like,
bro.
I miss that.
I mean,
take me back.
Bro, going back in New York, you gotta think about it. Like, even my skin was fucked up. I had eczema and shit because, like, when your body is like, what the fuck is this? This is not, you're not supposed to be here, man. So I had eczema, and I'm like, something's not right, man. And then moving to LA, now I'm flourishing. I'm like, oh, this feels natural to me now. It feels
We gotta send you back to Ghana, bro. Sorry.
bro. Yeah, man. No, it's one of those things, but you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep that in mind sometimes. That does play a part, So for the guys that can't get in shape, you need some heat. You need some heat. Get that sweat off, man. But yeah. Also, something about those gyms, something about those really grungy gyms, man. If a gym is too clean, I just don't feel at home, man. And the average gym goer won't get that. I go to Goes NoHo, right? But not all the time, sometimes. And they were the only gym that hasn't changed at all. Same equipment, same everything since, I don't know, 40 years. I don't fucking know. And they wanted to remodel it. And most of the gym signed this petition, the hardcore people. What we don't realize is we're always going to be outnumbered. We just don't see anybody else. We only see each other, so we think it's all us, all hardcore people. We don't see the soccer moms that come early in the morning and shit, right? So we didn't win, and then they completely changed it. And it's funny because they have all this new good equipment, and then you see people kind of like, oh man, sucking their teeth and shit. They cleaned it, they renovated it, but it's like we don't give a fuck about that. we don't care. Get us some new dumbbells or something, but most of us don't give a fuck about how clean it looks. You know, it's like so. I get it though; it's a business, and if you want to make the most money, you probably need a balance of that, right?
For
Realistically,
sure.
you know. So, and then we wonder why sometimes a lot of the old school gyms end up closing down, and it's unfortunate, but I think it's just the way of the time. There's always less of us than them, right? There's always going to be less hardcore bodybuilders than the average gym goer. So I get it. I get it. You know. But what gym you go to, Josh? It looks pretty hardcore, honestly.
I3. It's in Augusta. It's like a big warehouse gym. Got a bunch of arsenal stuff, and it's primarily focused towards powerlifting. So there's like all the like crazy bars, and the dumbbells go to 200.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Josh?
Augusta, Georgia.
Okay. Shit.
At one point, I prefer training at powerlifting gyms. When
I like it too.
Yeah. When I did like all free weights and shit, and heavy training. Nowadays, I need some more machines though, man. I need them.
We got a good.
They like to talk a lot though.
Well, it's like the 3 to 5 minute rests,
bro. Yeah. We talking about life and shit. Like Zoo has a lot of powerlifters, right? And because a lot of them they'll hit a squat, bro, and I swear they'll rest like 20 minutes. I'm like, bro,
that's a talk.
This dude been squatting when I entered the gym, bro. I didn't finish my whole leg day. Man still squatting. You know what I'm saying? so yeah, they'll talk, but off season, it's not so bad. You know, prep, I can't. I don't have the time to talk in prep. I got 3 hours of cardio left, man. Yeah. What gym you go to, Justin?
I go to Athletic Club.
Is that like a chain?
It's like a community center, bro.
Really?
They let you in there?
That's kind of hardcore. I'm not gonna lie. Community center is kind of hardcore, man.
Yeah, I was going to a pretty badass gym, but we had a falling out. So
yeah. Well, you must have
community center.
You must have been in prep.
It didn't matter about prep. It was just principles.
I'm just fucking with you.
No.
Shit, the first gym I went to other than high school was YMCA in Yonkers, bro. That shit was hardcore. Oh my god, man.
Bro, some of those are badass.
Oh yeah, man. Boy, you had to when you get a dumbbell over 100, you have to screw that shit back on, bro. You have to screw that bitch on, and it's like lopsided, like one part of the dumbbell like this. Oh man, I fucking loved it, bro. You put it on your thighs, the end of the pin, that shit hurts your fucking quads. See, thumbs up. Yeah, Zoom knows what's up. You know that Zoom knows. And that's when I like learned how to work out for real. Like you have like jailbirds in there, you know. Think about the people who can't afford the memberships, right? They're in there, but those are the hardcore. The people who can't afford the membership, those are the hardcore people, man. Those are the hardcore guys, and you just learn how to work hard, and that's all that matters. And I'm happy that I learned it that way. You know, you gotta change it eventually. But I'm still happy I kind of learned it that way. You know, it's fun, man. It's fun. All right, what's going on in the industry?
The industry.
First of all, when's the next show? New York?
Yeah, Pittsburgh, dude.
3 weeks.
Oh, how you said 3 weeks?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody jumped in. Was it Bonac?
Bonac's doing it, but
Martin, Vito, Derek.
Oh, that was New York, I think.
Rizzo.
Yeah. What did y'all think of Vito and what show was that?
Arnold South America.
Yeah, at the Arnold. What do y'all think of Vito and Arnold? Do you guys think he improved? Do you think it
What
was
do
a
you think
good
of
look?
Vito?
I think he's way bigger. He just he wasn't as hard as he could be, but I think he'll be harder.
Yeah, last year he was super hard. You think he held back because he knew obviously he was going to win the show?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't understand that, but I do think that's probably what happened.
And do you think that you should look your best even if you have multiple shows?
I think if it's 5 or 6 weeks apart, I think you can peak twice easily. I would think you probably need to find the data, how you're going to peak. I would think that's not a bad look, but
he's not off at all.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, he was still the funny part. He was still more peeled than the guy in second.
The guy in second is like horrifically underrated, though. His name is Leandro Perez.
Looks insane.
I think he's like 12 years old as well. Like he's still really young, and like his condition last year, he did one of the Euro shows. I think it was Spain or something like that, and he was in tip top condition, and I think he got kind of screwed. Like he got 7th or 8th place, and he's a lot bigger this year.
Yeah, he's huge.
He just announced he's doing Pittsburgh. Actually, I think that might be who you're thinking of, who jumped in.
You guys know his last name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there.
Oh, there you go. Yep. There you go. Perez with an S. That's the Brazilian way.
That's really good shape.
I mean, like, find a gap in his physique. Like he's not super hard here, but like
he actually looks more conditioned in the live stream. The live stream
kind of reminds me of is Joel Thomas.
Yeah. Well, he has some cross striations in his quads. Obviously, it doesn't mean he's peeled, but he looks better in the photos than he did in the live stream. I think when we see the live streams, we have to take it with a grain of salt that everybody's going to look worse.
But like, I mean, look at his physique, man. It's like
it's full as hell.
Fucking crazy good. I'm a fan of guys who look like this. Like doesn't have like a tiny waist. He doesn't, but he's like complete. Good. Like everything's there, And his back is very good too.
I mean, if he was even in the same shape as Vito, I don't know if he would have won, but I think he could have and probably should have won.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest,
I guess the question is like pushing down to that condition. Does he lose any of this?
Yeah.
Especially being a white guy.
Some people.
He's not white. He's Brazilian. Okay.
It's different. Different, right? Yeah.
A little bit.
Some people lose a ton. Some people dropping 5-8 pounds to get sharper lose a ton of fullness. Some people actually look bigger and better, and then some people kind of look like you expect them to look, right? So. Like Martin, he comes in sharper. He actually looks bigger and better. Like he doesn't look smaller. He actually looks more pronounced. But then you have somebody like Andrew, who does lose some fullness when he comes down. So
we'll say this: I trained with Martin yesterday, and we posed after. That kid looks crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of to be expected from that guy at this point. At this point, it's like
in person, it's like
on like a different level. Yeah. On like a different level.
How was the guest posing, Justin?
It was good. It was fun.
Looked awesome. Who was the little kid that was out in the crowd with you?
His name is Braden. He's a local in that area, and he's only 15, so he can't compete yet.
Oh shit!
So Jack let him come up there and pose with us, and he'll do the same show next year. I actually met him when I did the Oklahoma before Nationals. His mom's like a coach and all this stuff, and he's a good kid.
Yeah,
that kid is 15, bro.
Pretty damn big.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, almost too impressive. That's impressive.
He's on
But I
some
was gonna
SARMs.
I don't think he is. Maybe.
rad,
Just kidding.
rad 140. Anytime I get a new client, and I asked them for like this cycle history, and I see rad 140, bro. I'm like, oh, like they'll be like, what? I'm like, test trend rad 140. I'm like, what?
Hey,
What
what do you
made you
mean?
go?
What do you mean? Sean Clarita takes Route 140 every day.
What the fuck did that? I don't even know what that is, bro. What the fuck is that?
This is his arm.
I've never
I
taken it.
don't know.
I don't know.
I've come up. I've seen it, but I haven't looked into it.
Bro, when SARM started getting popular, I remember one of my connects. I'm like, yo, what you think about these SARMs, bro? He's like, it's really popular, bro. So I sell it, but I gotta be honest, this shit is trash. And then and then I just took his word. Since then, I was like, you know what? It's popular, it's trash. I never even did any research. I'm like, I'm just gonna take this guy's word because he's trying to sell this shit. So you would think the guy selling it would be like, try it out. If the guy is willing to say, I don't even want to sell this shit, then in my head I'm like, it must be not that good. But I don't actually.
The only thing I've ever taken is like GW.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've taken. Well, I've taken it. I don't even know. I didn't feel anything. I just took it because it was in my plan. But I don't know if it did anything.
It works.
MK.
It's just you're not going to feel much on it.
Oh yeah, I've used MK for appetite. I've used, but it fucks your blood sugar, and I held like 20 pounds of fluid.
I get fat on that shit.
Bro, I look like shit on it. Yeah, I look
Fuck
like
that.
shit. I just held a bunch of fluid, but appetite you will get
It does
hungry.
make you very hungry.
Would you use it again, Josh? Did you think that?
Probably not, man. I just suffer and stuff my face being full of shit.
I look like crap. I don't think it was worth it. Yeah, I don't think it was worth it. Have any of you tried that, MK?
Fucking
I
years
probably
ago,
have.
man.
I have, but it's honestly, it really only really works if you get it purely from a pharmacy. Like it's actually legit and it's way different.
Oh yeah, it works even better.
Yeah,
Yes.
but at that point, like, just buy growth hormone, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Who are we kidding here? Like, it's not cheap either, Like, do the
No,
math
it's
on
not.
it. Like, what are you going to be spending a couple dollars a day on it?
Yeah.
Throw that at growth hormone instead. You're going to be better
Yeah.
off.
Or like
diabetic.
for gains, or it's not even comparable. Like I mean, for appetite specifically is the only reason I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it for like, yo, I can't afford growth, so let me do MK. I would rather just save your money at that point. Personally,
That used to be the pitch, like back in the Tony Hughes days.
yeah, it was the pitch. Yeah. You know, with certain guys, like I think if you're like smaller, some of these things may work for you just because you haven't been exposed to maybe as much shit. Possibly, I guess I wouldn't know, but anybody who like says this works great and stuff like that, I'm kind of like I've never heard like a legit sized guy say that, like a big dude say shit like that.
Well, it's person dependent, I feel like at least.
Yeah, it is. It is. Tony was also selling it, and he's a really cool guy, really nice guy. But I'm just being honest. I mean, he was also selling it, so he has reason to say that.
Well, I got to give it to Stu. I'm pretty positive that generic HGH put a lot of muscle on me this past off season. So
That's the
I
plug.
fucking blasted the hell out of it, though.
Welcome to the team.
Like my body weight won't go down. Like it's just stuck.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah. Everybody's doing generic now, man. Why not? Why not?
It's so much more.
Yeah. And you can take, it's like there's people taking like Serostim and they're taking like 4 or 6 IU. Bro, you switch over to the generics, man. You could use 30 if you want, man.
30, 25.
You can use 30 if you want, man. But yeah, I just don't. I find it impossible to use good generics or real generics and say, it don't work that well. It's impossible, bro. If you're maybe you've had a bad experience. In the past, I've actually got what I believe was fake Chinese generic, and it didn't do anything. So I was like, oh fuck that, I'm gonna use Pharm. Until I tried, some of these newer brands. This is way back in the day. These newer brands, and they all work. I mean, I haven't had an issue with any of these. The popular generics that we know of. It works great.
As long as your hands are swelling up, falling asleep.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if you can feel your fingers, throw that shit away.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've had it before where like my hands were like stuck like this, so I'd have to like warm my fingers up before I could lift or have to use lifted straps for anything.
Dude, yeah, like trying to do like dumbbell lateral raises when you can't feel your fucking hands is ridiculous.
Like sitting in the car, and it just feels like you have pins and needles. Just that's the worst feeling in the world when your hands are just
when you can't sleep because of it.
Yes, you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, fuck.
Dude, when I first started growth hormone, like I couldn't even sleep. I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I told him, I was like, I can't take it anymore. He's like, just consistently do it. It'll start going away. And it took a while to start going away, but you get used to it, I guess, because I haven't felt my fingers in years.
Yeah, me neither. I don't even notice this shit anymore.
You know what sucks? What sucks the most about not feeling your fingers is when somebody puts a fucking plate on the ground, like face down, and you try to pick it up.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the worst ever. Or if somebody puts a 100-pound plate, I'm not picking it up.
No, that's stuck there. That's permanently stuck there. May as well be super glued.
It's not going right. When it's bad, I can't do any barbell presses. It would get so bad that I couldn't hold the barbell in my hand.
Look at them damn hands. I can tell.
you can't do that right now,
That's an HGH hand right there.
Do y'all feel like it affects your like dumbbell pressing too? Like you think like when you were younger and you weren't on growth, like you could like hold the dumbbells better? Now I feel like if I'm pressing dumbbells, like it wants to always like push out of my hand.
I barely like close my hand around them when I bench press or dumbbell press. I kind of just like have my fingers over it and just balancing on that part of my hand.
I just don't I'm near as stable with dumbbells anymore as I used to be.
I prefer dumbbells to barbell all day.
If I get big enough and my hands get swollen enough, and I'm strong, I can't even get the weight up. It'll fall out of my hand. I need assistance. Like I can't even kick it up. I'll kick it up and I'll lose the dumbbell. So it gets like that sometimes, I was gonna ask, you guys ever fucked with IGF?
Yep, I used Increlex.
Damn.
My last it was real Increlex. I paid $2,500 to about 240 milligram bottles of it.
Yeah.
You paid how much again?
$2,500
for one or two?
How much?
For 80 milligrams of it.
That's a fucking deal.
It was a deal. A really good friend hooked me up.
Normally it's about $2,200 a vial.
For one, yep. And well, it was going. I got it in like September it was the year before I got my pro card, and they expired that December. But he was like, not to worry about
That's LR3 though.
Yeah, it's completely different.
I tried LR3.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's it. Yeah, that's the shit right there.
Hold up, that's green though. It's normally blue, right?
Yeah, mine was blue.
Yeah, I've only seen blue before.
Mine was blue. It is counterfeited a lot because it's so fucking expensive.
No, this shit's real.
I hope
Have
so.
you tried that?
The pumps are
I guess I'm moving to Houston too. Shit.
Pumps are insane.
I'm telling you, if you went to this gym, you would want to move here. Like,
they just hand out Increlex when you walk through the door.
no, motherfucker. I'm not using that, but the gym alone, man. Yeah.
That's a big investment, man. That's
Bro,
a
it's a
big
huge investment,
Those
but
videos that I sent you the other day,
the results you
I was
see
using
off
it
of
for
that shit,
yeah.
it's think about if you're paying for steroids.
No,
Think if you're paying
it's
for
really good.
steroids.
Like, it's funny. I've got a whole bunch of it. My guy didn't realize what he had,
Oh
so
my
I got
god!
it really cheap until he realized what it was worth, and then he skyrocketed everything up. So.
Do you got his address?
No.
Shit.
So
No,
here's the deal, though: is how is he getting it? Because you can only get it from overseas.
And it's got to stay like perfect
Oh,
temperature the whole
that's how he
fucking
would get it. I get it from him, and he gets it from. He would get it from his guy, another guy. That would have to.
Yeah, but it has to stay in a certain temperature, and it has to come from
like within 10 degrees of a certain
like Europe,
that shit.
because you can't get it over here.
Yeah. No, it would.
They don't make it over here.
Midgets
Yeah, no,
eat.
it would. He would have basically melt it, and everything would be in a box, just kept cold.
With like dry ice or something.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can get it to the country, but to keep his integrity is the hard part. But
That's the real hard part.
Yeah, because I know somebody who just went and got some.
Yeah.
I need to get some more because that shit was
That's one
game changer, dude. Pumps are insane.
So
I will say with the LR3, I do notice a little bit of a difference in pump. Like I feel like you just get a pump quicker, but Increlex, I mean,
like
you'll have a pump for the rest like 2 weeks.
Especially if you're timing it right with the growth hormone and the insulin.
It feels like your pump does never go away.
I need
See, my thing is this. When I've tried the DAS and LR3, from what I've heard, it's like a way better version of that, right?
Yeah, see, but that's them trying to sell it. Yeah, they're just trying to sell that shit.
Nothing's ever as good as the real deal, dude.
No, of course not. No, I'm saying that from what I've heard, the Increlex is like that times 10, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I remember is like I don't know how much those pumps translated to stage tissue. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that shit got me pretty damn big quick.
Oh yeah. Well, that for sure. But like with growth hormone, I feel like everything I get from it, I keep it. Does that make sense?
I feel like you don't really see the true benefit of it till like you do a cycle, like say like you start it and do it for like 6 months, and then you try to cycle your next off season, you're gonna gain weight way faster.
But like, who's gonna invest in that for 6 months, bro? That's the thing.
People that have the money.
5 years.
If you get like one vial, it lasts you like. How much are you doing? Like 50 or 100?
40. I was doing 20 bilaterally each workout.
You were just doing 20.
So 20 per like. So if I was doing biceps, I'd do 20 on my left bicep, 20 on my right bicep.
Yeah.
So that would last you what 100 days, something like that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I ran it for about a year. Yeah, something like that.
So John Reagan would have his guys do the DES in the body parts they're gonna train, but like 100 to 200 mcgs in each body part. And I felt like, I don't know what Increlex felt like, but it was insane. The fucking pump was insane. So it's like it did the job, you know. And he looked at it as like, well, you don't got to spend the money, but you could do this, and it's still gonna add up when you start doing that much. But he was like, it still works. Just do enough of it, you know. And his guys did it, and they look pretty crazy. But like I said, I just don't know how much translates to stage. I'm sure eventually, maybe if you do it long, I've never done it long enough to even say it, I guess. But that's what I think of. Like what Stu said, I always think I just want to spend more money on growth. You know, I want to spend more money on growth instead of doing that. You know, but
probably old fashioned, but it works.
It's like growth. I can confidently say I continue to progress from it, and it doesn't feel like a short-term thing. It feels like I get the short-term pump from growth, but I get long-term gains. Whereas some of these other things, I just don't know how long-term it is, you know, if I'm being honest.
Well, at the end of the day, if you can't grow off of test growth and insulin, you're probably fucking up. somewhere else, or it's not for you.
You should quit.
Yeah. It's like anytime somebody tells me, like somebody on their first cycle, and they're like, "Oh, 4 weeks in, I haven't gained any weight." I'm like, "Oh shit, you might as well quit while you had."
Bro, you should gain weight and not even be eating.
My whole point is, if you're 20 years old, just going to the fucking gym, you should be gaining weight every week. So why the fuck you telling me on D-ball you haven't gained any weight? That means you're losing muscle at that point. You would have,
or your shit's fake.
Yeah, that too.
Because you should gain 10 pounds of water off D-ball.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay, so to make up for that 10 pounds of water, if you're the same weight 4 weeks later, that you literally lost muscle and gained water. So you're completely fucked off. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know, so at that point, you don't tell me you want to up it. Just stop doing it altogether, because muscle building is muscle building. It doesn't change whether you're on or off. So if you can't figure out a way to build muscle, then you're not going to all of a sudden figure it out because you're on gear. You should be gaining muscle. If you want to gain muscle faster, you should be gaining muscle faster on gear. But if you couldn't figure out a way to gain muscle without gear, you ain't going to figure it out now. So you might as well just go back to the drawing board, you know. But this is was this on the Increlex?
Yeah, that was like 10 weeks post show. I went from like 224 to like 285 in 10 weeks.
You must have been pinning them shits in your damn quads. That's where you.
My quads are just always fucking big.
You're round.
It made my chest get fucking humongous. I don't look like that right now. I kind of like took a little break for a year. I lost like 50 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah, Josh told everybody he was injured, where he can't afford the Increlex no more. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's it.
He lost 40 pounds from the Increlex.
Me neither.
Wait, well, how tall are you?
5'7", like 3/4 of a.
7 foot.
5'7".
Oh,
What do you
5'7".
think?
Yeah, 7 foot. If I look like that, 7 foot.
You got a problem.
Fucking 455 pounds.
If shit at 7 foot you look like that, you live long enough, you're gonna be, if you can make it alive, you'll be Mr. Olympia.
Just as huge.
284 at 5'7" is pretty, and that's pretty lean. That's pretty lean.
I was
That's
happy
really
with
big
it.
at 5'7".
My ass cheeks still had like lines in them and stuff. So I was,
Yeah, I see. Yeah. This how I look on stage. This is my stage condition right here.
dude, the rebounds are always, that's like the best thing that I learned with Justin. Because before Justin, all my other coaches would be like, all right, pull that shit as soon as prep's over. But Justin's like, nah, we're going to
Ride that shit.
for another 12 weeks. Yeah, but then you put on so much muscle in that post-show rebound is insane.
Bro, Justin guys, they put on 99% of their tissue during the rebounds.
Yeah, well, I think that's how most people do it, because you're like out of nowhere in 2 or 3 years, you're just like, holy shit, this guy's 270 pounds now, and it's just taking the shows put you in such a good like make you so responsive. Yeah, your insulin sensitivity is so good, and you just soak the gear up, and you're already eating way more, because I mean, me personally, I'm eating like an asshole like those first like 3 weeks after I'm done.
I eat like a box of cereal every night.
Or like some Ben and Jerry's, a nice little pint of Ben and Jerry's.
You're like 140 pounds, dude.
Bro, I could not eat my fucking Ben and Jerry's.
How do you?
You don't like
that?
Dude,
You don't like Ben and Jerry's?
Bro, I can't eat.
What's wrong with you,
That'll fuck
Justin?
me up.
Yeah, ice cream fucks my stomach up. I'll be on the
Dude,
toilet.
ever since my very first prep, like I had no dairy with that prep at all. I can't eat ice cream. It'll fuck me up.
Damn.
Not even like a nice little milkshake.
Sure, but like you do it anyways.
And
Yeah.
I do it and live with the consequences, but I don't feel like.
I was thinking the same thing else too. I'm like, it don't really agree with me neither, but I kind of just go for it sometimes, you know.
No, I fuck with like cookies and shit. That's what I fuck with.
Cookies are nice, yeah. Well, if you have the Ben and Jerry's, then you have the cookies. You know, you get some extra fiber, you know, from the.
From where's
Where?
the fiber?
Where's
Have
the
you ever
fiber?
had the? Have you ever had
Cookie
the
dough.
cookies?
Cause the cookie though. Now what happened?
Talking
Have
about
you ever
baby.
had? PDX cookies.
Oh yeah, I used to live like a mile from that shop in Portland, actually.
I have some in my refrigerator.
Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better.
I'm a cheesecake guy.
Ooh.
I love
If I have a cheesecake factory near me, I'm fucking it up. Yeah.
I actually would fill up for shows on cheesecake. I'd go to Saltgrass and get their big ass cheesecake and fly wherever I
Cheesecake
went.
and Dazad.
Cheesecake and Dazad.
Or cheesecake, Dazad, and was it lactate or whatever it is? Lactate or something.
Yeah,
Lactate.
That's the new trio right there. Fuck the
They're
burger
the coach.
pie Dazad.
They're the coach that has his clients. They'll do a quarter diets at every meal when they're carbing up, and his guys come in pretty peeled.
I don't think I'll ever use a diuretic again.
Some people don't need it, man.
The most I'll take is a quarter. Like that's like 2/8.
It just makes me so flat.
2/8.
Yeah, dude. Literally, it's like you gotta break that bitch down.
I'm flashing back to when Beatty said like 2/4. What is that? A half?
2/4. Well, I'm saying like I'll do 2 1/8. Like,
I understand, but like Beatty doing the mental math in his head was so fucking funny.
He was like,
he didn't even realize it.
It's that, man.
he said
2/4.
It's
But the way you got to cut it into 4, and then take 2 of it. That's how you do it.
So
if I
2/4.
had, you could have just cut the whole damn pill in half.
What does that equal to?
That's Beatty math right there.
Hey, how do you cut a diazide in 8 pieces, bro? That's powder
Bro,
at that point.
you literally have to break that bitch down like into powder at that point because it's round, you know.
What you do, you get a milligram scale, and you weigh the tablet, and you bust off chunks of it.
What the fuck?
Professional.
Well, like to say
Beatty,
is
don't
what
tell me
Crestacito
you
says,
don't
just
have
a sprinkle.
A
Beatty,
sprinkle of
you
diazide.
can't tell me you don't have a milligram scale.
Of course it do.
Of course you do. Yeah.
But can't you just do the 4th and have a little extra?
Bro, it's so small, like it'll break off like uneven and shit. Or you can just be like, I'm taking an 1/8 and just take a bite off of it. And you don't know what.
That's what I do. I said, fuck it.
I use a pill cutter. Works perfect.
Oh, yeah. What if you just take 1/4 and just have a little extra?
I will always take a little extra rather than a little not.
Yeah.
It just makes me so flat.
Y'all are funny.
Like,
just eat a little extra more with it.
Yeah, just eat a little extra.
A little bit.
Extra. Yeah.
I mean, that's just like another 100 grams of rice. Fill that out. A little bit of honey. Be all right.
Yeah. Shit. If Josh it was around in the 90s, they used to have you load up on aldactone 2 weeks out, then start the diazide and then add the Lasix at the end. Josh would have been down to classic at that point.
fuck that, dude. It makes me feel like a little, just like a 2x4.
Yeah.
No. My roundness goes away completely. Like the only show that I didn't take a diazide was when I won my pro card.
But do you pull growth?
Yeah, 10 days out.
If you're pulling growth and taking fucking diuretics, yeah, you're gonna flatten out.
Shit, I'll be pulling everything. I'll pull everything.
Yeah, except for I'll leave the oil in, but
shit, I'll take a shot.
Pour growth every time.
I usually pull everything, like natty, on stage natty. I kind of look natty on stage too, but everything goes. Just cause I just be older. I be older water, bro. But then it's like, what's the trade off? You pull it, and I'm like, damn, now I'm just small.
But here's the deal about that. Why don't you get your estrogen checked like 2 weeks to a week out?
Bro, there's no estrogen in this man's body.
That's what I'm saying. How is he holding it?
He's taking horrifying amounts of aromatase inhibitors. Like, make your head
I'm not holding water from estrogen. I'm holding water because I'm being West African. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you eat like shit ever? Do you eat like shit
in prep?
Like now, currently?
No, I don't know. Right now, I'm 13 weeks out. So by 20 weeks out, I'm not having any junk food.
Gotcha.
You know, and my food in general is not that high. You know, had to. It's hard to like when genetics are really different. It's hard to make sense of it. Like if I was to work with a new coach, they would probably be suspicious. Like, I don't know. You know, I don't know about this guy. I think this guy's having burgers. You know,
I'd be the one making you send me all your meals, a picture of every one of your meals.
yeah.
I had to do that with some clients, bro.
You know why you have to? Because some people will sit there and lie dead to your face. Bro.
Hell yeah.
Bro, you know what I don't like is they send a picture of an empty bowl. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck you ate. What do you mean, bro? It's like, oh, it was 250 grams of rice. So, you know, I'm like, what is no?
See, that I feel like that would maybe happen more if that behavior has been like kind of validated. Let's say your genetics are so crazy that you're winning anyways. I think those are the people that would keep doing it. But bro, if you're losing, right? Like, why the fuck would you continue to fucking fuck your diet just to lose? That's it sounds silly to me. Who are you deceiving? Like the fuck you the one standing there fucking in the second call out. Yeah, so it's like who are you? But if you're somebody like some of the
You want examples, or is this a rhetorical question?
If you're one of the top genetic guys, man, I'm sorry, a lot of them won't admit it, but yeah, they be cheating. A lot of them be cheating. Or they'll go back and forth. Like I remember Flex Wheeler was on the old school, and he's like, yeah, because I would go zero carbs. But early in the podcast, he said he would have French fries in prep, and Milos was like, you zero carbs on French fries? Like what? Which one is it? Like he's like, you know, so they'll kind of, you don't really
fuck themselves. They snitched on.
No, he was the worst one. That's what I was literally talking to Sean Rated yesterday, and he said Flex was notorious for cheating on the shit.
But the thing is, even though he didn't win the Olympia, he probably could have that. You know, but he was winning everything, so it's like it's hard to get somebody to change their ways if they're winning everything. Yeah. When Flex was battling against Pro Card and he lost to, I think he lost to Matarazzo, then he like, what the fuck? So that prep, the next prep, he probably wasn't having much French fries, right? Because he felt that loss. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
No, but then he started sabotage himself.
He would, yeah, he would. You know, he's admitted. But when you're losing and you keep doing it, that's insanity to me. That's just crazy.
My having 3 eggs, but they're having a shake with oatmeal in it.
Yeah, but what's the point of saying like?
I don't understand it. I don't understand that.
Maybe but let's out of me.
But let's say your entire meal 1 is 3 eggs. It doesn't really mean anything because what if your meal 2 is fucking 16 ounces of chicken and 16 ounces of rice? Just one small meal doesn't mean you're like, doesn't mean your calories are low. Just one meal. So it doesn't really. I don't think it makes a difference. But
because supposedly his first meal was on 3 eggs.
In general, it doesn't even matter how low it is. If you have to do it, you have to do it, right? So you can't even compare. You can't say, yeah, I wasn't peeled, but my calories were like 2,500. The judges don't give a fuck if you were 25. Exactly, go down to fucking 2,000. It's irrelevant what you think is difficult. Either you do it or you don't do it. So it's one of those things you have to. I'm positive that everybody can get in shape, even if it's not your best look. You may not look good. You might be like, damn, I lost my legs, but you can get in shape. I don't care. Yeah. So even because that sometimes could be an excuse. Like I just said, I'm West African. Doesn't mean I can't get in shape. Just because it's harder or it looks different doesn't mean you can't get in shape. Bonac is Ghanaian too. That motherfucker's in shape. All right. I don't see him making excuses. That motherfucker's peeled. So I don't know what he has to do, but it's irrelevant. Nobody really cares. All right. What I will say though, when you have to eat more food, it actually makes you hungrier. Right?
Unless you don't get hungry.
Depends on how much.
You get a ton of food already.
Yeah.
I just take a bunch of Ozempic and it's not a problem.
No, bro, retatrutide.
Wait,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not up to date on the newest, best
It's the
GLPs.
newest one, bro. You got to take it.
From what I heard, it works. It works great though. That's what everybody's been saying.
I actually am going to take some of the retatrutide this year in prep. Like that, there's like, you know, from reading about it, there's some other benefits to it. Like
Talking about cholesterol and stuff.
yeah, and like visceral fat reduction potentially, because it's not just, you know, getting rid of your appetite, you're doing other shit, which don't ask me what that is. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. Seems intriguing. I don't think you should be taking it
don't
fucking
go too hot too quick.
right. Yeah. Bro, dude, Beatty, that guy, your friend, he fucking did it again. He fucking did it again. He mixed up his semaglutide and his GH5 because they weren't labeled.
Oh shit! That boy probably couldn't eat for days.
No, he couldn't. He was fucking throwing up for like 2 or 3 days. You remember this happened last year?
Yeah.
Same dude.
Does he still work with you?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
he stopped. He stopped after his surgery. He started up again, but like, yeah,
that's a good sign. At least that you're probably the longest coach he's been able to work with, so that's good. But
yeah, I mean, he literally didn't do anything for 6 months after he got surgery. He's a fat piece of shit, but like he's fixing it.
he actually has good genetics. I've actually seen him.
I know, man.
Yeah, but we talked about that earlier. Genetics. It's like it only matters if everything else is where it needs to be. Well, he's also a hard worker though, which is the funny part.
Yeah.
He has the
all
work
or
ethic.
nothing.
It's just that sometimes you can be too much of a hard worker, if that makes sense, right?
But like the fact that it happened twice, you know, like you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
So I used to train him in person. Oh, my fault,
I gotta
Josh.
head to work.
Oh, all right, Josh. You already know, brother.
Yeah, have a good one.
Take care, man. Yeah,
Hi, Josh.
All right, man.
See you. Nice to meet y'all. Have a good one.
Later, Josh.
Sure. I just assume that bodybuilders don't work. I just forget that people actually work, right? No, it's not. But what I was talking about, bro? What the fuck was I saying? I was talking about something. Oh, yeah, the client. I actually used to train him in person, and the biggest mistake I made was teaching him how to train like us, I guess, like the work up to a heavy set, you know, go to failure. What do you call that? Just
progressive overload.
Yeah, but basically that. And it was probably the worst thing I did because I didn't realize like how crazy he was, and he almost takes it too far. And I'm like, it's weird because you can do it, but maybe you shouldn't. Like, let's say he has 4 or 5 on the incline, and he's benching. He can get 8 reps, which is that to me is a suitable rep range. But the dude is shaking. He's shaking. He's sweating. He can't breathe. He's choking. And I'm like, holy fuck it. It shouldn't look like that though. It shouldn't look like that. So my rule of thumb: if you're shaking and buckling, go lighter. You just have to at that point. So then I try to retrain him. Like, you know what? Maybe this training maybe isn't for everybody. Maybe for you, just something about your body. This isn't the way to go. And he kept getting injured. So then I'm like, now I was trying to detrain him to do that, but once it's locked in, he couldn't stop it. So he just kept getting injured. And then
he has no cartilage left in his shoulders. And he's like in his early 30s.
Yeah, and he hasn't
it's like that's like Chris Fine shit, dude. Like,
yeah,
not good.
But Chris is one of those guys too that he's like. Did I send him a link actually? Oh, I don't think I did.
But that's why Chris is so beat up because the way he trains.
Because what happens is all of us here started training that way. I've seen Wyatt train like that, but it's like slowly we're like, you know what? Let's figure out a different way. Let's kind of.
It's like the same style. You just kind of clean it up a little bit. Exactly.
But some people, once that switch is on, they can't. And it takes a while. It took me a while, but I couldn't stop benching. I'm like, fuck that. I don't care. I don't care if I tear my chest. I do care if I tear my chest. You know, it took a while. I'm like, no, I just love squatting. I got to keep squatting. And you just come to terms. You can be like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do this. I'm gonna just stop doing it. You know, it's a process, but you have to. Everybody has to eventually. You know, everybody has to.
Well, I feel like Chris wouldn't train if he wasn't training like that.
Yes.
His is more of a mental thing, mental release.
Kind of like probably therapeutic for him.
Oh, if he didn't have the gym, I don't think Chris probably would be here.
Chris would rather do it that way. He would rather retire than not do it that way, almost, right?
Yeah.
Or he would rather that training push him to retirement than not do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he needs it more just
because I was coaching him for a minute, and as far as like diet is like, I mean, it's pretty close to what he does anyways, but just a little making where you get food in easier, like having fruits or some juices or shit like that. And he couldn't handle it because it wasn't how he always does it. And with the training, I was trying to show him like, dude, let's do this way. You know, we're not going to fuck up our hips anymore. And I think it got to the point where it's just he couldn't handle it. He just had to do it. He has to do it his way.
If that's the case, then I think he should do it his way because I don't think he wants to do it any. You know what I mean? I don't think he's like some people are like, well, if it comes to winning, I would rather do it a different way. But he loves bodybuilding because he loves bodybuilding. He doesn't love bodybuilding only when he's winning. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, like, if we're not winning, we're not enjoying bodybuilding. You know, he actually loves bodybuilding in a different way from a lot of people.
I would say 100%.
Yeah. And just talking to him, I don't know if anybody loves bodybuilding the way he does. He might not.
I can say that.
Yeah, he might not talk about it. He doesn't get online and be like, "Yo, I love bodybuilding more than everybody." He doesn't have.
But he's on that motherfucker. He's on that fucking story at 4:00 in the morning.
He absolutely does that. It's obnoxious.
I honestly believe that man loves bodybuilding more than any of us. Honestly,
Yeah.
It's not even about the stage. It's not even about medals. He just loves it. That's it. That's all it is. That's you know what I'm saying.
I don't even like this shit anymore, dude. I'm just too far in. I can't back out now. You know.
Bro, I've thought about that many a times. I'm like, this shit really ain't that fun when you think about it.
Can I get a real job again and like just drink beer on the weekends?
See,
that sounds
what
cool.
keeps me in it is I don't want a real job.
The crazy thing is some of the viewers gonna think you guys are joking, but a lot of pros actually feel that way. It's not that they hate it, but it's like they're at a point that even if they wanted to, they gave too many years to this, so they're like, "There's no way I could. I'm gonna leave and just start fucking accounting." They're like,
well,
how do you explain this 10-year gap in your resume? Like, I was. You want me to explain this? Show you some pictures.
Yeah. I think it comes down to where when you realize, like, yeah, you turn pro, but like the realisticness of you like placing top 5 in Olympia is like not there. So you're like, fuck, where's my ceiling actually at? But at this point, like me, Stu, we're like, we have businesses in this. Like, this is how we make money. This is our image. So like, we're in it.
What's the pivot though? It's like it's a hard sport to pivot from, right?
It is very hard.
That's the whole thing. You know, they used to ask Dexter, "Why are you still competing at 50?" He said, "What the fuck? What the fuck else I'm gonna do? Like, what the hell?"
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, like, eventually, like, we're not going to be competing anymore, right? Probably in like 10 years from now, at most, I'll be done, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do after that? Are you going to like coach people? Are you going to run a gym? Or are you going to continue to like make a living in the bodybuilding fitness world? Or are you going to try to like transition back to construction management for me? You know, like, I don't know. I think I'd like to stay in the bodybuilding world unless I just get totally fucking sick of it, which is possible. I don't really want to continue to be like a personality, you know, like a public figure of some kind, like Milos, right? Milos is a public figure in our sport, and that's how he continues to make a living, right? I don't know if I really want to be doing that at 50. I think there's some, it's not really dignified, you know? I'd leave that to the kids personally.
But those guys, even those guys, they needed a long break to get back into it, right? Because Milos was gone for a long time before he came back, and like even Chris Cormier, like a lot of these guys, they took a Dorian is back in the industry kind of now, but they all disappeared for a while to kind of just process shit, get their life together. Then they're like, oh, I kind of
well,
miss
up
it.
until 10, 12 years ago, there wasn't anything for them to do because social
Good
media
point, yeah.
wasn't really a thing.
This is true. This is true.
So, like, yeah, there's no other. What are they going to do? Like, write columns in magazines
They
for MD?
really with.
I mean,
Well, that's the good part now that in 10 years you guys would have built enough of I don't know, reputation, and all these younger guys are gonna know you, so that's gonna be clients for whatever businesses you guys end up doing, whether it's coaching or training apps or gyms. So you're gonna be the OGs, and then the guys are gonna be like, oh, okay, So then your business can transition from there, whatever it might be. So I think it'll be a lot easier of a transition in 10 years from now. But you do have to be intentional about it if you really want the business to do well.
That's what I do. I turned my career into basically I travel the world coaching athletes and posing clients and all that. That's all I do now. I haven't competed since 2019. I missed it, but thought about doing it maybe once or twice more. It's just like I kind of like my freedom and enjoying life, and I just love helping everybody else now. So I still love it, but that's what I do now is just coaching everybody, posing, all that. Just shift it that way.
Don't you feel like the same high when your clients win as when you win, or more?
I feel it's even a greater high. Like I am so passionate into this. Like literally, I give everything I can to them. Like a lot of times, depending on their story, I like get really teary eyed. Like I really feel for them.
Bo, every pro card my clients won, I've cried. Even long distance, I've cried. I don't think I would cry if I got a pro card. I can't say for sure, but I don't think I would. But for my clients, I do just start crying. It's like because usually when you've done what it takes to turn pro, there's a lot that goes into it, and we've been talking this whole time. I know that your girlfriend had breast cancer and this happened and that happened. I know the story, so it makes me emotional. When Zay turned pro, I cried, and I was at the same show. But I also know some of the things he's been through, that maybe everybody else may not know. So the things like that. So he's not even my client, but he's my friend, right? But yeah, but with clients, I actually get more attached, and I never get nervous when I compete. When my clients compete, I'm so fucking nervous because I'm like, I know the work they did, I know how good they look, and I know that they can win, but I don't know who the fuck is in the show, and I don't know how the judges are gonna judge it. So it's like I want to tell them that you're gonna win, you got this, because I believe they will, but I don't fucking know. So then I'm not fucking nervous. I'm like, what if they lose and they look this good? What the fuck? And it's a lot of emotions, So when you replace that, I think it's a lot easier to transition because you still feel like you're competing, right?
Yeah. The nights before a show, sometimes I have trouble sleeping because you're nervous. You're thinking, okay, did I do everything right for them? This and that. Okay, what if something happens? Okay, I got to do this and you're like constantly thinking, always thinking.
Yeah. Shit, one of my clients cramped up on stage. I was fucking mortified, bro. I was mortified. And it was bad. He went to hit the thigh, and his whole thigh cramped up. I'm like, oh my God. Get this man some fucking Pedialyte, man. Get this man some Pedialyte. But once you grab a cup of Pedialyte, you're automatically in last place. Like they don't disqualify you, but you're not gonna win the fucking show. I hope you're just not. So he was the biggest, hardest guy. But once that happens, I think it's just like a principle thing. I don't think they can give you the show if you had to go take a glass of fucking you know, electrolytes. So, you know, he got fourth. You know, so.
Last year I had a female figure. She was in the middle the entire time. Sandy was judging her. And as soon as they did their last quarter turn, she cramped and she kind of like went, like stumbled. And as soon as they turned around, they moved her right to the third place spot or second place spot, and they moved the other girl in. Thank you very much. We'll see you next tonight. She lost just from that little cramp.
Bro, the girls division with heels on, bro, if you fumble half a second, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you miss Olympia. You get that walk going, you go boom. Oh, that's all it takes. You do this, boom. What the fuck was that? Oh, hell no. Hey, judges. Last place. I'm like, God damn, they got heels on, they dehydrated and shit. Give them a fucking break, you know? In the fitness shit, they do one of those little flips and you see a little, you're like, oh, fuck, oh my God. And then let's go home, everybody, let's go home. I'm like, bro, you gotta, holy shit, you know? Whereas for the open bodybuilders, I mean, you see guys in their routines lose their balance all the time. It's not a big deal. You're like, still got the best physique. In the women's divisions, if you don't smile, you give that little shoulder shit. The judge, where the fuck was the shoulder? I didn't see the shoulder. Oh, move it down. That shit, bro. That shit is strict. I'm like, yo, these girls can't miss. Imagine you forget to put fucking lashes on or something. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is? Oh no, that shit is harsh. So when it comes to those divisions, I don't. Bodybuilding, you got to I can tell you, bro, you're gonna be top 2 for sure. There's no doubt in my head. I don't care what happens. I don't care if you throw up backstage. You're gonna be top 2, and you're probably gonna win. Those other divisions, I can't tell you nothing. I'll just go up there, man. I don't know what to tell you. Just go on stage.
Well, I'm gonna hop off because I gotta go to the grocery store.
All right, y'all.
I also have to go to Easter dinner
as well.
All right, bet. Yeah, all right. So let's cut it there abruptly. I actually got to go too. You know, I got
sorry.
Busy man
no
here.
questions.
Busy man.
Yeah, no, yeah, busy man. I got to fix some shit over there. The pipes.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
me too.
a nail or some shit hanging off the wall. Go get it.
Yeah,
Happy Easter, boys.
I got that. Happy
All right,
Easter.
I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Y'all for coming on, man.